We've been talking today about how collecting classic tractors is so often a family affair, and a lot of times it starts with the toys. Gary Emsweller from Indiana, you kind of got started with farm toys before you got into collecting tractors.
Sure did. The way we got started, my parents would go to the state fair every year, and by that time we were usually in school, and that was a long day for a kid, so they'd go to the state fair, and they'd always bring back a toy or an implement of some kind. Probably one of the first ones was a Massey Harris Rural that replicated my dad's tractor. And after that, we started getting into the John Deeres, and this tractor came from the Indiana State Fair and was part of my brother and I's collection. We really didn't collect them. We just played with them in the garden, and we planted a lot of corn and soybeans out there in the garden, much to the dismay of my mother, but that was okay. So that's really how we got started in it. And we had a replica barn full, had a corn picker and a grain drill and a baler and all the combines, all those implements that go with it. And as I grew older, the toys kind of went away, but we kept them. My dad had the wherewithal to keep the barn, keep the toys in the barn. And when I got married, he said, "Hey, take your toys and go home." So they literally came home. I had my son, Drew, and his first Christmas, we bought him a John Deere tractor, took it out of the box, put the muffler on it, and he crawled over to it, chewed on the muffler for about 5 seconds, and he goes on to the next thing. We literally put it back in the box, and that would have been 1978. And 1995, when we built this room, we literally brought that tractor back out and gave it to him again. But from the time he was 6 months old, we were buying him toy tractors for every birthday and every Christmas and every holiday you could think of, he was getting toys. So when he got older then, we literally got hardcore and we'd go to the toy shows and unfortunately it kind of developed into another exciting fever that we have. Small scale classic tractor fever.
Yeah, easier to store.
Easy to store, yeah. Take care of, don't have to worry about it starting, things like that. But yeah, we've got a pretty good sized collection, primarily John Deere and Massey Harris. John Deere, obviously, a lot more prevalent. Massey Harris, not so much. In fact, the Masseys we have really emulate the Massey company. We have toys from Denmark, Russia, Italy, South Africa, and all those places we're making Massey Harris tractors, still do today in most cases. So we got a crazy lot of them.
Yeah, and you have grown it from 2, 3, 4 that you might have had when you were a kid to 2, 3, 4, 500 maybe?
We're pushing about 3,000.
3,000.
3,000, counting all the 64 scale. And the only reason I know that, I have a spreadsheet and everything's documented, and my insurance company likes to see that occasionally.
Sure.
But yeah, it's one of those fevers that you can't get over, and we're still, shouldn't be, but we're still buying toys and especially the new stuff that comes out. But every once in a while, an old one will come through and that you just can't live without.
Yeah, tell us about this one in brass.
Scale Models made a whole series of them, of brass tractors, of Massey Harris tractors. And we go all the way from the four-wheel drive GP all the way up to a 135 Massey Ferguson in brass. And it's just, that's one of the toys that the grandkids really don't play with because they can't hardly pick it up.
It's heavy.
It is a heavy tractor.
Yeah.
And we've got a supply of them up here that, you know, we got a Wallace and a GP and a Massey Harris. So fun, it's a fun, different piece to have.
Something different.
Yep.
And tell us just a little bit about the pedal tractors. In addition to the scales, you've got some pedal tractors and some of them are pretty rare.
Yeah. Don't have too many. I got 7 or 8. there was a small frame and a large frame tractor that was made in the late 40s, early 50s. They were basically a replica of the 44. We got both of those. Today they are high dollar pedal tractor. We got some more modern 44s. A good friend of mine up in Wisconsin, we've talked about it before. I have the I-330 Navy tractor, and I went to a show one summer and there sat a I-330 pedal tractor with dual wheels and everything. And I go, are you going to put that in the auction? Because everybody was going to bid against me. I was going to pay dearly for it. And he says, no, I made this for you. This is yours.
Yeah, that's a friend.
So it's a very special tractor.
Yeah.
One of a kind.
Yeah.
One of a kind.
So Gary, do you think the whole farm tractor toys, is that kind of the gateway to, if you've got a son or a grandson, that gets you into the tractor collecting hobby?
Again, my son Drew, he started when he was 6 months old and has continued on. A lot of these really are his. He has a son that's now just turned 9 and ready. He loves the toys. I got some stuff over there that belongs to him. Obviously, a lot of this will become his someday if he wants it. But he's starting to go to toy shows and farm shows with us, so he's going to be enjoying it as well. So it's fun.
So no matter the age, there's something fun about a farm tractor toy.
That's right. That's right. We're 3 generations into it, and that's what it's all about. Even though we're really 3 generations removed from the farm, I grew up on the farm, but obviously don't live on one, but it's still 3 generations in, being off the farm, but still having a passion for agriculture and tractors.
All right, Gary, thanks so much for sharing a little bit of insights about your growing toy collection.
Definitely growing. Thank you for being here. It's great.
All right. Now, if you have classic tractor fever, we hope you'll connect with us on social media, even if you just like toy tractors. Search for Classic Tractor Fever on the web and you'll find photos, updates on new episodes, tractor videos, and a whole lot more. So find and follow Classic Tractor Fever on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. We really appreciate that you're catching Classic Tractor Fever. If you'd like to see more great tractors, be sure to check out these other classic stories. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to keep our classic tractor stories rolling.